No more junk fees. That's just a term that was being bounced around. Uh, there is a movement in the industry by government to start regulating and changing the fee structure for not only restaurants but various other companies and industries. And we're going to talk about how that affects you guys and how it affects your restaurant customers. So, just what are these junk fees? They've been outlawed now in California. That happened this week. They are going to be instituted. This law goes into effect July 1st. This law is not new. It is something that's already been in place in other states, and it may be coming to a state near you. Since some of the major cities and major states have already adopted this new law, it is going to probably spread to other states, and you need to be aware of this. This was even discussed in President Biden's address to the nation in the State of the Union address, and that is there are no more additional fees on any transactions in Florida. That is, no surcharges of any kind. And yes, that includes credit card. No more credit card surcharges on any transactions in the state of Florida or in the state of California, but coming soon to Florida. Yeah, other states are considering this. Other state legislatures are. New York and Florida are two others that are considering this. So this is going to be a serious problem for restaurants who don't adopt and adapt to this. So what are junk fees? Well, I mentioned credit card surcharges. That is a fact. Surcharges for credit card fees are now going to be illegal in the state of California. They are already illegal in Vermont. Delivery fees, to-go fees, they were having things like HR fees. So the delivery charges that were being charged by restaurants cannot be added onto the receipt any longer, nor can to-go fees. When the state of California passed a law saying that you had to have health insurance, restaurants did not put that into the price of the item. They put it as a fee on the receipt to show the customer what was being charged and why. Then they did employee wage fees. Same thing. They were trying to show the customer what was being charged and why, to actually pass blame to the state legislature to shake their fist at the legislature saying, hey, we're showing the customer what you're doing to our restaurant by having these extra fees that are required. This was their way of protest, if you will, telling the customer to go call your legislator and tell them that you don't like this. They were trying to get those things repealed. And in some cases, these fees were in excess of 25% of the total. So you had the menu price, which may be already elevated as to some degree, was then being elevated even more by these extra add-on fees. And we just listed a few. They had other fees that they were attaching to the receipt. They had a COVID fee, a cleaning fee. They had other little fees that they were attaching to the receipt so that when the customer thought they had a $20 bill, it actually was more like $25 to $30 when they got through. So these are the junk fees that are now no longer allowed to be added to the receipt. Only sales tax can be shown. That's the only thing that can be added to the ticket is sales tax. But more than restaurants are affected. It's not just restaurants. They went after everybody. All transactions, including airline tickets. You no longer have the additional fees on an airline ticket. The price of the ticket is the price of the ticket. There's no more additional fees. Same thing for athletic events. You go to SeatGeeks or Ticketmaster, and they would have an admin fee. No longer. The price of the ticket's the price of the ticket. There's no more admin fees. Then you get into the theaters and the entertainment. I buy a lot of my tickets off Fandango for my movie tickets. No longer do you have the additional fees there. So every type of transaction that had a service fee or an admin fee or any something kind of fee like that is no longer going to have those fees attached to it. No more food delivery fees, either for prepared food, such as your in-house delivery or DoorDash, Uber, Grubhub. All those are no longer going to be allowed to have their fees on their receipt. The same thing for Instacart and other type of food delivery companies. No longer do they have the ability to have the fees on there. The fees and cost must be shown now as a part of the item price, not separated. So fees and cost are now considered cost of goods as part of creating the menu price for the item. This is going to dramatically affect the price of that item. And they're going to rise. So now the menu prices have to go up to reflect these additional costs and fees. It could be at least 25% or more in some cases are going to have to be increased somehow. So what is the fears? The fears are sales are going to drop. Sales will drop because the people cannot afford a $15 hamburger or a $20 hamburger. They're going to have a drop in sales, the restaurants will, because the customer base just doesn't have the money to go along with the rise in the menu costs. I'm questioning what's going to happen to tips. Before, the people weren't tipping on the fees. They were tipping on just the food portion of the meal. Well, now that food portion of the meal is going to be 25% higher because the food cost is affected with these fees. So now, how's that going to affect the tips? Are people still going to tip 20%? Are they going to back off to 18, 15, even 10% tips, knowing that the tip is calculated on a very inflated price of the item? So tips may also be affected in this. We'll have to wait and see on that. So how does the Aldelo Express help? Well, first thing is cash discount. We've been a proponent of cash discount since the beginning. We were always opposed to surcharges. We felt that the customer was going to rebel, and well, actually, the customer did rebel. Now the legislature has outlawed that in the state of California and Vermont and other places. So cash discount is your only option left to recover the cost of the credit card processing. We do a really good job at that. We do adhere to the guidelines that are set up by the government regarding how cash discount is to be implemented. So you are within the legal guidelines to use our cash discount program to recover the cost of credit card expenses. We have a really good advanced pricing module. Then we'll get into what it can do for you here in a minute. But it is a really good tool to help an existing customer get their price menu up to the right price. We are probably the only, if I don't know of another POS company that has 10 prices available per item. And that's right, 10 prices. You have 5 order types. We have 2 different third-party pickup prices. So we can actually set the price, a different price for DoorDash pickup and DoorDash delivery. So those could be different prices. We also have Mesa has a dine-in price, a pickup price, and a delivery price. You add all these up, and we have 10 different prices you can have for a single item. We do have flags to eliminate fees and surcharges. It's really the same flags you use to turn them on. You can go back in, just easily turn them off as in a broad way. but you can also turn them off by customer. We have the ability to go into the customer file and turn them off there as well. So there's a couple of different places and a couple of different ways to do it. We also have QR menus for those restaurants that don't want to have to reprint the menus when the new prices go into effect. They can switch over to QR codes and have the QR menu pop up on the person's phone or tablet. So these are the tools that we have within Aldelo Express that will help you help your customer be compliant with the no fee structure. Cash discount is one of the better ways to recover the cost of credit cards. It is legal in the way we do it. It's a really, really easy way. There's 4 different steps. First is you calculate the effective rate. Simple is the calculation is take the total fees divided by total credit card charges. That gives you a percentage, and that is the effective rate. We could then set the effective rate as the discount or close to it in the software. That way the customer who is paying is going to have a high, well, the menu price will be elevated and raised up to accommodate the effective rate. Then a cash discount is given when that person, if that person pays with cash. If they pay with card, they just pay the menu price. The restaurant they do have to post signs. They also can then raise the menu prices. And number 4 is just turn on the feature. The posting of the signs is critical. Do not let your restaurant put this into effect and not have the proper signage with the proper verbiage posted in the proper places. 2 of the places are by the terminal and on the front door, so that they are easily seen when you enter the restaurant and when you're at the terminal to pay. So that's critical. We have had customers that were fined because they did not have the right signage. So this is how you implement it. It's really simple. You can get this done in a matter of a few days. So it's really simple to do, but it is legal and it is able to be done. Next up is the advanced pricing module. This then can raise or lower prices that are in the restaurant now. They can be a percentage or a dollar amount. Can be done on individual items. It can be done on groups of items, or it can be done on all items. It's really, really simple to do. And yes, it can be done by order type. So we can change the price for dine-in, to-go, drive-in, delivery, all 5 different order types through the advanced pricing module. Makes it really simple for an existing restaurant to change their price based upon their new expense structure. The expense structure is going to be all these fees that they were charging separately. How do they affect the restaurant menu price? That's where you then change it using the advanced pricing module. Very simple to do, and you should help that restaurant make that change and then charge for that. So there is a revenue stream for you on this as well. So here's the wrap up. Legally recover credit card fees via cash discount. This is still available and allowed to be done. The advanced pricing module can easily migrate prices for an existing customer. You should get comfortable with that and help them do that. Digital menus via QR codes will help the restaurant in that they don't have to always be reprinting. Those QR codes then bring up the menu on the person's phone or tablet, and it will always have the most current price available there. 10 prices per item. 5 of those are order types, 2 for the third-party delivery companies, and then 3 price levels for the Mesa Plus. This gives you and the restaurant tremendous flexibility with regard to getting the right price. So what you're going to find is that where they used to have a to-go fee, they're now going to elevate the price of the item slightly for each item to then accommodate for the to-go fees that they were charging before. The delivery fee for a delivery item, they will have a different price there that will reflect a portion of what they used to have as a flat delivery fee. They'll now slightly elevate the prices of the item to then absorb the cost of that delivery fee. We were playing with this morning and saw where if you wished, you could have a discount of those delivery fees once you reach a certain size of order. So there is a lot of flexibility built into these different pricing structures to give discounts once you reach a certain price level. You should take a look at the programming of these order types to see the flexibility that you have there to help your customer not only be compliant, but actually not lose money on this. So what questions do you have? If you'd like to raise your hand, I'll unmute you. In the meantime, Pleasanton, what did we have in the chat that we need to bring up?
Yeah, so someone is asking how long does it take to do this in the back office before installation is ready? And advanced pricing module, menu items, making sure they're all in the correct prices based on the menu price. This is instant.
Immediately. All right, Tim Dykes, I have enabled your microphone. What would you like to ask?
Thank you, Jerry. Hey, I just got one question here. I just want to verify what you said. So basically, if the restaurant is charging 25 cents, 50 cents or whatever on each to-go item or whatever, they can no longer do that. And if they're trying to charge for any type of separate delivery fee on the ticket, they can no longer do that. And as well as any other charges that they're trying to may want to put on there, like hold time, extra hold time, anything like that. They can't put any of those kind of extra charges on the receipt. And the second part of this question is this going to be active in July for everybody in the United States, or is this going to be a state regulation?
All right, good questions. All right, two parts to that. First part is there are no more line item fees below the subtotal line. The fees have to be accounted for within the price of the item. So that 25-cent per item charge now goes as cost of goods for that item. So you have to raise the price of the item 25 cents. That goes for every other fee that you have. And you just mentioned a few, but any fee outside of the price of the item is not allowed. It's just no longer allowed. Second part to your question is this is currently in a few states. We know Vermont and California for sure, but other states are looking into this to pass similar laws. I will also tell you that the United States Congress has been challenged on this as well. What has caused a lot of this were companies outside of point of sale, outside of restaurants that were doing this. You had bed and breakfast people that were giving you a room rate, but when you got your bill, you got a huge amount added on for cleaning fee and this fee and this fee and this fee and this fee. There were almost doubling the price of the room for the fees or with the fees. So it's not just restaurants that are guilty of this. There were a lot of industries adding on a lot of fees. There were airline tickets that were being charged a fee to sit by the window. Others charging us to sit by the aisle. So you had a lot of little bitty tack on fees that were just junk, is what they were labeled as, junk fees. So it's gotten to the point where the legislature has stepped in and made those illegal. You have to now put those into the price of the item. Did that answer your question?
Understood. Just one thing. So tell me, so like you say the price of the item. So let's just say, I don't know, let's just say a burger, for instance. Okay, a burger has a normal price, but let's say they order it online or they're going to take out and they normally charge, 25 cents or 50 cents for the box or cups or whatever. So how can you do that? I mean, without you know, like I said, like if you're ordering a hamburger, one may be for dine in, and the same burger may be for to go. So if they're gonna, put a to go charge for the box or whatever, how can they do that? Can they just,
All right.
I mean,
I, Tim, I got you. You're going to have a dine-in price. Now, by order type, we can set the price for an item by order type. So in this case, the dine-in price will be $10. The to-go price is going to be $10.25. The delivery price might be $11 because you got to pay a driver and a box. So you'll have now three different price levels for one item. You'll have a dine-in price, a to-go price, and a delivery price. Our system can handle that in that we can have 5 different prices for one item just on the order types. Then you have those 30% charges that were being tacked on by these third-party delivery companies. So then you have a price for a burger would be $10.30 for a delivery through a third party. You have that ability within our system. Then you might have Mesa. Mesa prices could be different as well. So you have all these different price levels for this one item. So yes, you're going to have a $10 price for a sit down, $10.25 if it's to go, $10.50, $11 if it's a delivery. Does that make sense?
makes perfect sense. Last question, and I appreciate you hanging in there with me. The last question is, so where can we go to keep an update on our state to, verify if things have been changed or not changed or whatever?
Your state restaurant association is going to be highly involved in this. They will be able to keep up with the laws regarding this. I'd say that's your best choice, but you need to
Okay.
stay informed. Tim, where are you located?
Well, I'm in South Carolina,
Yeah, I thought so.
Columbia.
I was going to guess Carolinas. You guys
Yeah.
have got a decent restaurant association. I would say keep in touch with them as far as what's going on there. But
Okay.
there's also the United States Congress is also taking a look at this. This may become a national thing.
Right. And they will have the ability to they will Congress, if they enact it properly, they would have the ability to set it straight across the floor because it deals with the banking association, so they don't necessarily have to have an approval from every state.
No, they don't.
Okay.
Okay, then I'm going to call this one done. You guys had some good questions, and I would recommend you get involved with your state legislature, state restaurant association to see if this is going to be enacted in your area. But just be prepared for it if it is. There's nothing wrong with you selling the cash discount now. There's nothing wrong with you showing and getting familiar with the advanced pricing module and the flexibility that you have there with regard to including fees in the cost of items, especially if the restaurant customers you have are putting in these additional fees. Just let them know that they could be antagonizing their state legislature to enact something like this, like they did in California. Just know other states are looking at this. This is getting some attention now, and it could come to your state as well. We appreciate always your attentiveness and your attendance at these meetings and this training. It has been a good one today. We always look forward to seeing you next week. So if you would now please exit so our team can have our team meeting.